Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we have a beautiful animated story about adventure, love, and a journey that changed everything. Many years ago, a huge luxury ship called the Ocean Crown was preparing for its very first voyage across the ocean. The ship was enormous and magnificent. People said it was the safest and most beautiful ship ever built. Passengers from all over the world gathered at the harbor, excited to travel on this incredible ship. Among them was a poor young artist named Daniel. Daniel had won his ticket in a small card game just hours before the ship was about to leave. He had almost nothing with him, just a small bag, a sketchbook, and a big dream to see the world. But Daniel had no idea that this journey would change his life forever. On the same ship was a young woman named Amelia. Amelia came from a very rich and powerful family. To everyone else, her life looked perfect, but inside, Amelia felt trapped. Her parents had already decided that she would marry a wealthy businessman named Victor. Victor was rich, powerful, and arrogant, but Amelia barely knew him, and she didn't love him. One evening, Amelia stood alone near the railing of the ship, looking down at the dark ocean below. She felt like her life was not her own anymore. At that moment, a young man passing by noticed her standing dangerously close to the edge. It was Daniel. He slowly walked toward her and said softly, "The ocean is beautiful, but it's not worth losing your life for." Amelia turned and looked at him, surprised. That night, Daniel and Amelia talked under the stars for hours. Daniel told her about his dreams of traveling the world and drawing everything he saw. Amelia had never met someone who spoke so freely about life. Over the next few days, the two strangers became close friends. Daniel showed Amelia the lively part of the ship where ordinary passengers laughed, danced, and enjoyed music. For the first time in her life, Amelia felt free. They watched the sunset together at the edge of the ship and shared stories about their lives. But not everyone was happy about their growing friendship. Victor began noticing Amelia spending more and more time with Daniel, and he did not like it at all. Victor angrily confronted Daniel and warned him to stay away from Amelia. Daniel ignored the warning. Meanwhile, far ahead in the dark and freezing ocean, a massive iceberg was slowly drifting across the sea. Late one night, while most passengers were asleep, the ship sailed quietly through the cold waters. Suddenly crashed. The ship violently shook. The Ocean Crown had struck the iceberg. At first, many passengers thought it was a small accident, but deep below the ship, icy water began rushing into the lower deck. Slowly, panic began spreading through the massive ship. People rushed through the hallways in fear. The crew started lowering lifeboats into the dark ocean. Daniel searched desperately through the crowd looking for Amelia. Finally, he found her trapped behind a locked gate in one of the lower hallways. Without hesitation, Daniel grabbed a metal bar and broke the lock. Together they ran toward the upper deck. But by the time they reached the lifeboats, there were very few seats left. The freezing wind howled across the ocean as the giant ship slowly tilted into the water. Daniel helped Amelia step into one of the last lifeboats, but there was only space for one person. Amelia held Daniel's hand tightly and refused to leave without him. Daniel smiled softly and said, "You deserve to live the life you always dreamed of." Tears filled Amelia's eyes as the lifeboat slowly lowered into the freezing ocean. She watched helplessly as the massive Ocean Crown slowly sank into the dark sea. The night was silent except for the sound of waves and the cold wind. Years later, Amelia would still remember that journey, not as the day she lost someone, but as the day she learned what true freedom and love really meant. If you enjoyed this animated story, support our channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us for more amazing animated stories.